And welcome into Getting Help from Uncle Sam, or in the state of Alabama, we call it Getting Help from Auntie Alabama. Well, you know, you go to church and you expect everything to be just fine. I want to tell you a true story because I'm originally from Chicago. Many, many years ago, there was a real strong church-going person, and what that person did is he would read the obituaries in the newspaper. He would then call the family of somebody that deceased, and he'd say, "Oh, is Joe Smith still here?" And he said, "Well, I'm sorry, Joe died." "Oh, I'm so sorry. He had ordered this Bible, and we had it inscribed with his name." Well, the family said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize he wanted this Bible," and they'd buy the Bible. It was a scam. Scams can happen in churches. Today we're here with the Alabama Securities Commission. My guest, Steve Feaga. Steve, it's good to see you again, young man.
Well, good to see you again too, Jack. Happy to be here.
And you are assistant director, but you're over litigations.
That's correct. Criminal and civil litigation for the Alabama Securities Commission. That's right.
Well, that keeps you busy.
It does keep me busy.
Nights and weekends.
Yep. We are under our statutory authorization, we are given the authority to go into all 67 counties of the state of Alabama. We work in conjunction with the DAs. We don't ever want to surprise anybody when we come in, and the DAs are very helpful.
And today we want to talk about affinity fraud.
Right.
How is that happening?
Well, affinity fraud is a broad category of fraud that falls under the umbrella of securities fraud.
Okay.
And what it is basically is that con men, you just talked about earlier, you know, someone's passed away, they're catching people at a vulnerable time, they come in, their relative wanted to buy this Bible, their emotions are in play, and they're going to want to buy that Bible because that deceased relative wanted it. And so that's a way of gaining their trust. They use the relationship that they have with the loved one, the fact that they're deceased, they're in an emotional state right now where they're somewhat vulnerable, and they come in. And so what con men are always trying to do is they're trying to find a way to get the confidence. That's the reason we call them con men, confidence men, to get the confidence and the belief of the victim. And so one of the prime ways that they do this, and we see it over and over and over again, is that if they can get one or two people to invest, and usually the con man has a pool of money to start with. It's not a big pool.
Right, enough to get it baited.
It's enough to hook a few folks, okay? So they tells them, hey, I can get you this ridiculous rate of return, 20, 30% in a year, okay? Something that you can't get anywhere else, okay? And so he does. He gets that first person in. He gets that second person in who maybe they tell about. And what they're doing is, Jack, they're telling their friends, okay? And that's affinity fraud. It could be friends at church. We see it at church a lot, okay? Because you add to that the trusting relationship that goes on between people who are members of the same congregation, the same church. They have that affinity together, okay? And so if they hear from someone that they know and respect from their church that they've made this investment, and guess what? It's paying, then they're going to come in and pay. What they don't know is the money they're coming in and paying is in reality going into the confidence man's pocket and being used to pay returns to other investors that may come on, okay? And they may even ask for a little return. Say, hey, you know, I think I want some of my money back. Fine. He gives them some more of some other money, because once they get their return, they tell other people, okay? And that's affinity fraud.
So what would be the red flag so that we can let our viewers know that if they see this happening, they can go ahead and react and call you people?
Okay. The red flags are, one, high pressure sales tactics. Okay. Once you're put in touch with the person, because almost inevitably they're going to tell you,
hey, do it right now.
You got to get in now if you want to get in on this, because I won't be able to offer you these great terms right now. Okay. They're only good for 2 weeks, only good for you know, a week. After that, the rate of return is going to go down. I've got so many people that want to get in this, I might not even be able to get you in it. So high pressure sales, okay, is one thing. The other, and this is the huge red flag, is unrealistic rates of return.
Yes. Too good to be true.
It's so true. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. And here's the really tragic thing. These guys, these con men, these scam artists, they are so good at what they do, okay? If you could hear some of the tapes, we often get in these after it's over, unfortunately, and the money's gone. So we can punish the people, we can get restitution orders, we can send them to prison, but the money's gone.
Absolutely.
And it's particularly troubling when it involves elderly people, okay, because usually they're the folks who are no longer working and they want to live off of their savings. So if you are promised an unrealistic rate of return, that should be the immediate red flag to you that there's something wrong. And one simple phone call could save so many of the people that we deal with, and that would be just to call our hotline.
Good.
If they call down here,
We've got the number up right now.
That's right. And they say, look, just call that hotline. We have an agent on standby or an attorney all day long, and you can get that phone call in. And what they can do is they can enter the name of that individual that's making that offer to you into our what we call our central repository database. It's a nationwide database.
Thank you, Steve. And just remember this, the Alabama Securities Commission is here to take care of these problems. Don't be afraid. If anything looks doubtful, give them a call. It's better to give them a call than to lose everything you've got. We'll be right back right after this.